We'll be getting started in just a few minutes. Going to get started in a few minutes. Just going to make sure we have everyone tuned in.
Welcome all.
All right, Hank, glad we got you. Rich, we got you on the horn as well.
I'm here, excited to chat with everybody today.
Awesome. I think we're just waiting to make sure we have access for the Glyph team and we can get started. All right, I think we got everyone here, so we'll go ahead and get rolling. Welcome everyone to Elements. This is going to be our new series on Spaces where we focus on fireside chats with some of our favorite dApps in the core ecosystem. My name is Sean. I'm product lead over here at Element. I'm joined by two of my fellow coworkers. I have our engineering lead, Hank, and of course our CEO, Rich Rhines. Gentlemen, great to have you on board.
Super excited to chat, excited for another Element Spaces. Plus, we have our amazing friends over at Glyph. longtime core partners.
Right
GM,
on.
GM.
Welcome, welcome. All right. So yeah, as Rich said, today we're excited to be joined by Glyph. So to kick things off, I'd like to invite the Glyph team to go ahead and introduce themselves and share a little more about what Glyph is and your guys' mission. I think we're all excited to learn a little bit more.
Great. Thanks for joining the space, guys. This is Key, and actually, I always go by my pseudonym here. I call Kookaburra, so it's an Australian bird, by the way. And yeah, so happy to be here speaking with Rich, my favorite idol in the core ecosystem, and also we have an awesome partnership and also work all along the since the very start of Glyph Exchange. So what we are building is the flagship DAX on core, and then we also offer some interesting values to the table. We're not just another DAX. We have Uniswap V4, and then we want to focus more on the Bitcoin synthetics. I assume that all of our very smart audience have been following the space about all these like new Bitcoin chains are bringing different values to the Bitcoin DeFi narrative. So we have a very interesting landscape moving forward with a lot of interesting players participating in the Bitcoin economy. And the other thing that our team is also focusing on building is the go-to-market strategy, and in particular, onboarding smaller players and users. So this is a great moment to talk further about our upcoming killer feature, FASI 20, that we've been talking about this for half a year now, and it's very close to our launch. So we will be supporting users to do something similar to the Pump Fund, but on an inscription angle. I will share more information about it if it's the first time that you learn about Glyph Exchange later. Um, and yeah, off to you, Rich.
So I think most people know me at this point, but just kind of a quick rehash. So today I'm wearing the Element Wallet hat versus the normal core hat that I wear on a day-to-day basis as well. And Element is trying to build the Web3 super app. It's trying to be the home for all core network participants. There's an amazing browser feature that was put out pretty recently, and with that browser feature, you can go and browse amazing dApps in the core ecosystem like Glyph, which is featured. And there's also some amazing upcoming swaps features that Glyph will be powering. So super happy to be working together for I think almost a year at this point, maybe a little longer, and just so much amazing stuff that's happening on the Glyph side. They've been pioneering some of these markets for the Euro Cup, some of this stuff with Trump versus Kamala, just some really cool innovative stuff that we haven't seen from other dexes, not from the core ecosystem, but throughout all of crypto. So again, amazing partners for us. Super excited to chat here today.
Awesome. Thanks, gentlemen. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So, Key, I know you and I were speaking before, and you were saying that you definitely had some questions for Rich, kind of get the ball rolling. I know, working with you guys for the past year, obviously lots to talk about. I think we have a couple topics we'll want to get into today, but I definitely want to kind of hand the mic to you, talk more about the feature you were just talking about, and be able to, chime in about all things elements and questions for Rich. So, please take it away.
Yeah, lovely guys. Yeah, thanks for the invitation. And yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about. Which one should we start, Rich? Like, I guess like today is about Element Wallet, so let's talk about like mobile wallet. And I really appreciate the development of Element Wallet, and then I've been trying to use it on my phone. Experience perfect. But there's one thing I always wanna see like the development of wallet, because I think some of you or if you are not aware of it, Glyph also has a mobile version. And the way we build the mobile version is we didn't go for the difficult path, which is like Element Wallet that you guys did to get it listed on the App Store. Instead, we did a little bit a small trick, that is to use the progressive web application angle, so that way our users can can just save our tab or to their home screen, so that way we can provide a mobile experience to our users. And from our backend data, so we've been in the space and also on core ecosystem. We are the first DAX in this year, so we've been around for 8 months now. Then a lot of the backend data shows that we have 60-ish% of our users, they actually use our mobile version, like in the sense that they access Glyph Exchange and they interact with our product through their mobile phone. And I think this is a very significant data. And then we can see that since the last bull market, the one I'm referring to is the 2021 bull market, that people are actually, and in these few years, and we as builders, we are actually trying to offer a very good mobile experience to for people to do a normal DeFi trading, or even for GameFi they play on their phone, or just use it to do meme coin trading with the Ton ecosystem. So in that angle, I think Element Wallet has a plan. I wish, and I really want to hear more about like the upcoming dApps that will be coming to Element Wallet, and all the other synergies that will be creating among different core builders.
So much to unpack there. And I think when I think about the Glyph mobile app, it really is a super awesome experience, really snappy, nice, easy to use. And then it has that really cool retro UI that you guys are known for. In terms of the Element side, so Element again, right now is primarily focused on two things. It's focused on decentralized messenger and all the kind of nested workflows there, like P2P payments, handles, all that sort of thing. And then on the other side, it's trying to build the flagship wallet for the core ecosystem, trying to focus on tons of usability, making it really quick, easy one-click Bitcoin and core staking flows, like really trying to nail those classic core user experience elements to really show that this is the wallet for the core audience, and to try to meet those pressing day-to-day use cases. Where Element is heading is, you kind of took a little bit of our thunder away with the intro, which I absolutely love because you hit the nail on the head. Where Element is actually trending towards is much more into this decentralized app store model. And we think that is how most of these Web3 wallets will eventually trend towards, because that's ultimately where the value will reside with these wallet applications. And on top of it, it's all about providing seamless, easy to use Web 2-like experiences. So there'll be some cool stuff in SDKs that will come out later that make it kind of a consistent UI, UX, really easy to use, and for developers to build on top of this platform. And we think that's one of these big unlocks, because in reality, most Web3 applications do not work like Glyph. They're really hard. You have to have a PhD to understand how it works. And we think that's not going to allow crypto, and particularly the core network, hit mass adoption. And ultimately, that's the name of the game. I think we have been in crypto for a long time. We've seen that most of crypto has been about purely tech. It's been about just trying to build the best Rube Goldberg machine, if you will. And I think the market is tired of that. The market now wants consumer adoption, and they want real world use cases. And in order to do that, we have to build products that are familiar and easy to use for Web 2 audiences, just not Web 3 natives. And I was on a podcast earlier and I was joking. I think in crypto, people are actually surprised when product market fit happens, which is super ironic. I mean, in the Web 2 space, right, your business dies if you don't hit product market fit. And it's surprising in Web 3 today. And again, these paradigms need to change drastically. But having that kind of familiar app store model, and then having these nice value-added services like integrated payment rails, messaging, kind of seamless profiles, all that sort of thing, is going to create this really tight package. And we're super excited to bring that to the world.
Yeah, totally. Actually, when you mentioned this go-to-market and also the product market fit, and people are actually surprised that this is a very good remark, and I think we all feel this. And I was actually in Taipei two weeks ago for the ABS the event. A lot of like Web3 builders from the Asian side were present, and then I was actually seeing something relevant to hardware adoption, like say for example, I think I saw some guys, they were building a watch kind of based on Solana, and then it's kind of like an Apple Watch but a crypto version, and that way they can use the watch to be to access their wallet and then do whatever. And the funny thing they were trying to pitch the market was something like, oh, if everyone's wearing the same watch in an event, say a crypto event that people like to party, then everyone does a certain gesture and then they will get an airdrop or something. Is that something that you've heard of, Rich? Like, would you be also conspiring the idea of having a hardware wallet for Element sometime?
Maybe at some point, I think we probably want to integrate with maybe the best of breed hardware wallets out there, your Ledger, your Trezor. Like my guess is that's probably the quickest path to integrate on that side. We do love, hardware wallet security. I think that is really critical. Element does have a security first mindset, and there'll be additional access controls and that sort of thing that will come at a later point, in addition to just the classic Face ID, PIN code, things that are there today. I think your example of the Apple Watch thing is actually a great one, though. Those are kind of like a classic, let's call it maybe one cycle ago, like crypto go to market, where it's like, oh, if everyone in the world changes their daily behavior, then my thing's going to work. And those are just really big conjectures. And I think in this cycle, we're seeing some of that change for the first time in a long time. And I think it's also, people don't realize sometimes how long it takes to find product market fit. So a great example is Maker, right? Like Maker that does, the CDP protocols, OG Ethereum, like 2014, and then going launched in 2017. Took forever. Now it's doing hundreds of millions in revenue. And things take time, and people in crypto are usually operating on really short timescales. But in reality, things can take longer to fully mature, and we all need to be patient because ultimately that's what leads to real value accrual and real businesses. I love that people are trying new things, though. That's the caveat I would say is we shouldn't be afraid to fail. We should be constantly experimenting, trying to find new modalities. In reality, crypto is only 15 years old. It's still this wet clay. There's new amazing stuff coming out every day, and we still don't have a killer app yet. So one of these very well could become that killer app.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I think what we are doing while we run a DAX business, so you are the legendary leader of a cool Bitcoin chain and also with the wallet. And I think there are still a lot of interesting concepts about to uncover in the space, and not just for our ecosystem, and more generally what's happening from all this like creative builder. Like you said, we only have like 15 years of history for the crypto business side of things. And we also seeing a lot of interesting institutional behavior. I think it's funny because when we always say, not this past few months, but maybe where you stay may hear a little bit more. But on the Asian side, I think people stop saying institutional money or like institutional investment for the past few months. And then I think there will be, especially I think for the wallet, on the wallet side, with all these custodian businesses going on, there will be also a great chance for like institutional level product that's based on a reliable blockchain. And with the right team, I mean, like in the space that we are building, we are working on the Bitcoin DeFi popularization, and I'm actually quite bullish on seeing other ideas coming out in the near future, hopefully. And yeah, I think it's a great start to like a wallet and also what we do as a DAX. But other than that, do you actually think there will be something more? Because lately, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, there's the new project. There's a lot of noise around it. Corn, supported by Binance Labs, I was actually interacting with the user interface last night, actually a few hours ago, and it's fantastic, like a gameplay experience, a little bit like our style, a retro 90s like a game, and then it's actually telling a story to the audience like, oh, a Bitcoin is already the future, and then you should play this game and earn yield. And they embedded the DeFi concept under the skin of a pretty nice game, which I think so far haven't seen so many different projects. This one has been like my favorite. I wonder if you've seen it, Rich. I think there's a lot of interesting inspirations from there we can actually learn to build something that adapts to the users of of our audience. I mean.
So just before I answer that one, shout out to Spadaboom and the Badger DAO folks who created Corn. Super exciting project. They've got amazing investors, great team overall. So we're super excited that they've launched. And I think what to your credit to your point, they've done an awesome job of kind of creating this really holistic, integrated experience. I think the memes they've created are awesome. Like they're doing a really great job at kind of going after, let's call it like a Barachain style go to market, right? Like they're trying to go after degens and they're trying to onboard lots of users. And I think they did a really cool initial like protocol launch, like you mentioned, where you have this really integrated, almost game-like experience. And I think that's again something that everybody can learn from. I think each L1 and L2 will bring different paths to market. People will focus on different things, whether it's liquidity and Bitcoin staking like core. Other folks will, kind of go after these more like kind of pinpoint precision use cases like DEXs, and they'll integrate those more natively. And the key is to adapt and learn. And I think, I get asked pretty frequently, all right, core's, done so much or whatever. And I frequently tell people it's, we're in the first inning. Like the race hasn't started yet. And it's important to have a product focused mindset. And again, I think it's something the Corn people are doing really well, which is it's not kind of research projects. And what I mean by that is if you think about, maybe some of these restaking protocols, if you think about kind of a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, maybe from past cycle, Ethereum, et cetera, many of these things were research projects where once kind of that initial innovation gets replicated or copied, there's nothing left. Like the story kind of ends and the project dies. And that's another one of these, endemic problems to crypto that I think is changing, hopefully for the better this cycle, where it's actually about building things people want, being product oriented, and continually reinventing yourself. And again, Core is a great example of this. We launched without Bitcoin staking. We had to wait for the consensus mechanism to get more mature. Now there's over 300 million in Bitcoin stake, earning 4% risk-free. Dual staking will come out later this year to boost those yields even further, kind of additionally entwining the Core community and the Bitcoin community. But it's a game of trying to find these amazing products that kind of be first, but then to also scale, right? It's not just about being the first one to kind of bring out an innovation. It's who can actually take it there and take it to 100. And I don't think anyone's gotten there yet. You did make one other mention that I think is important to comment on, which is around the institutions. I think, and this has been a meme since I first got into crypto in 2013, it was always the institutions were coming. And I remember like the first Winklevoss ETF application, and I was so sure it was going to pass, 10 plus years ago. But the institutions are really here in the Bitcoin space. And that's why I think that the Bitcoin space that we're all collectively working on and many of the audiences are participating in, it's the most exciting market, I think, potentially in the world right now. The TAM is over $1 trillion. Is an easy path to 10T in the next 5 years. Like it's one of the fastest growing, most exciting ecosystems with so much, white space to go out there and tackle. And what's nice is we all get to ride the coattails of Bitcoin. People understand Bitcoin. There's now Bitcoin ETFs. There's so much opportunity for people to kind of piggyback on all the work that's happened in Bitcoin over the last 15 years. And I think that's a really positive meme for us all to work off of. And kind of the story that we talk about pretty frequently is, it was a huge success to get to spot Bitcoin ETF. It took 15 years. We think the next will be more yield-bearing ETFs, similar to Core's ETPs that went live earlier this year, because Wall Street won't just stop at spot. They'll want yield. That's what Wall Street does the best, right? securitize, they package, they add additional risk, they sell off the risk. And we all understand kind of that game and the risks that eventually get associated there. But that's why there's so much opportunity in Bitcoin DeFi, right? Because if you can take Core's base layer yield, you can then take some LSTs, bring them into protocols like Glyph, and you can then just start to compose kind of the classic money Legos story. And we think we're in, again, like the first pitch of the first inning there. Some of these protocols we think are going to be absolutely enormous because the scale of Bitcoin is so large. People don't necessarily think about if over the next, let's call it 3 to 5 years, tens of billions of Bitcoin, maybe even 100 billion in Bitcoin comes into DeFi. If some of these protocols are taking fees like Maker or like Aave, these are enormous businesses. And I think that's why it's so exciting, and you'll see so much innovation because the prize is that exciting.
I'm always learning from you, man. Like I really think, yeah, because I think I told you I've never been to the States before, and every time when I hear when you do spaces and also listen like our work together, and then I always wanna see what's actually the landscape, down to earth landscape, of the Bitcoin narrative going on in the United States, because yeah, I think there's a lot of noise like in the speculative side, I think, but this is also crypto. This is also the essential part of crypto. And but sometimes we need to cut out the noise. And like what you said, when we look at MakerDAO and then we look at the essential purpose of like running or pursuing the objectives of Bitcoin DeFi, it has a lot to do with like yield generation, because otherwise why would people having trillions of dollar would be interested in, they are not in here to speculate some meme coins. They are here like to get stable income and to make sure that their investment is not going in the pumped up fund style, so to speak. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's fantastic what we are doing. I have a lot of hopes in our work, and now that you also have like the Element wallet, and I think there will be more interesting things coming. Yeah. Hey Sean, yeah, off to you.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been an insightful conversation. Much like Yuki, I feel like I learn something every time I get to get Rich on the horn and hear him talk about the industry and the space and where we're going. So it's certainly exciting, and I think we're really going places. Excited for what Element has in store, excited for what Glyph has in store, and I'm very grateful for the partnership we have together. So with that, we're right about at time. So thank you, Key and Glyph, for joining us today. Rich, thank you for joining us. Hank, thank you for joining us. And thanks to everyone who tuned in. We hope you found this discussion insightful. Keep an eye out for more announcements around our Elements Spaces series. We'll be bringing in some other exciting partners from the core ecosystem and more updates from the team. So with that, GM everyone, and have a great morning, night, afternoon.
Sorry, one last thing. Download Element and go play with Glyph. It's an awesome protocol. So that should always be kind of the tagline here: is go explore the Element and core ecosystem. Thanks so much, everybody. Excited to chat again soon. See ya.
Yeah, thank you, and don't forget to follow our socials, because Kamala and Trump's game like the meme coin trading thing is coming, and please join us. Especially if you are a first time Element wallet user, it's very easy to click on Glyph, and then there will be a lot of interesting trading opportunities happening very soon. We'll keep you guys updated. Thanks.
See you later. Thanks all. Bye.